Imagine an alternative timeline where Apple wasn't leading the tablet space in the market, and instead someone else took over. We wouldn't have this in front of us. We'd instead have AINOL. Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another installment in the series called Tacky Tablets, a series in which I test technologically terrible tacky tablets that I've collected over the years to demonstrate any redeeming qualities that these devices may have. Except I haven't had this device for many years, I only got it last weekend. And if you can already tell by the thumbnail and the title, I managed to find another AINOL tablet. Realistically, it is probably pronounced AINOL, but I'll just show their slogan again and let you all connect the dots yourself. If you want to go watch the review that I made on the AINOL NUMI AX3 thing, I'll card it up here for you to go have a look at. Honestly, I never thought I'd come across another one until I went to my local flea market, and sitting on the table was this rather large AINOL, and I casually asked how much I could get AINOL for, was told the price, gladly accepted it, and walked off holding a rather large AINOL. Okay, I should stop being immature now and be a little bit more serious with this. But honestly though, I did go to my local flea market and was just sort of browsing around the aisles, and I did see this tablet sitting on a table, and well, here it is here. Also, before I continue on, just to let you all know that there's timestamps in the description as well as the pinned comment, so you can skip to wherever you need to. If you want to skip to where I do some gaming on this, or if you want to skip to where I tear it down, that's all included for you, so you can skip right along to wherever you need. And if I flip it over, it has a price tag of 40 bucks on it. It was on the table like this, and with the price being there and with the camera being there, I kind of just thought it was an iPad at first, but for some reason I decided to pick it up, and when I picked it up and seen that, I immediately went, oh god, I've got to have this. So I said 25 bucks for it, and the lady that was selling this said, no, I'll take 30 for it, and I went, okay, 30 bucks for it. And then when I got it home, I charged it up for a while, had a look at the specifications, and went, you know what, this actually might be kind of capable. Considering the specifications on this, which I'll display the entire list to the right here, we have an all-winner A31 quad-core processor, Android 4.1.1, a 9.7-inch Retina IPS LCD at 2048 by 1536, 5-megapixel back camera and 2-megapixel front camera, 10,000 mAh battery, and the full name of this is the AINOL Novo 9 Firewire Spark. So, to shorten it, it's the AINOL Spark. Or if you wanted to give it a bit more fire, you could call it the AINOL Firewire. Yeah, we could be here for a very long time. Can this bigger AINOL beat the smaller AINOL that I previously looked at? Let's find out. But first, I want to bring back the iPad, because I'm just going to have them side by side. Now, while the iPad is a little bit bigger, the profile of the AINOL Spark is pretty much the same as the iPad first gen. We do have the rear camera on the back of the AINOL Spark, and no camera on the first gen, of course. Both back covers are made of aluminium. Around the sides, you can see the button layout is kind of the same on the Spark, except it's a button there and not a mute switch, and it's kind of flipped around. At the top, we don't find a headphone jack, but instead we have the power button pretty much located in the same place, and also thickness-wise between them, they're pretty much about the same. The iPad is ever so slightly wider. The AINOL Spark also has an actual seal of approval on there, so we'll have to break through that to pull it apart. And there's also another one there too. Ports-wise, the iPad first gen has just the 30-pin dock connector and the speaker, whereas the Spark has dual stereo speakers, 5V DC input, micro SD card slot, micro USB, mini HDMI, and a headphone jack. Also, the Spark was released in 2013. According to a lot of reviews that were published for this, it seems that 2013 was the launch year for this, but I can't really find any other specific details. And finally, back to the front of the devices. While you can't see terribly much of what's going on, the screen sizes on both units are exactly the same, except the display resolution is lower on the iPad first gen. But that's pretty much as far as comparison goes with the iPad first gen that came out in 2010. Now, I realize I won't be able to do terribly much with this due to this running an outdated version of Android, but I'll do my best to showcase what this thing can do. There are some applications that are already installed on this, which I'll just test and play around with. And also, I'm trying to work out if I should take this screen protector off or not, because if it's bare glass, then it's going to get fingerprints all over it. And if I leave this on, then there's less fingerprints to worry about. It's just all the scratches. But when I switch this on, I'll put the brightness up and there shouldn't be an issue. Also, just quickly having a better look at the branding there. Also, Novo 9 Spark quad-core made in China, factories number A047119, 5 volts, DC in 5 volts, Wi-Fi, a couple of certifications, some logos there, and that's about it on this. Alright, let me go ahead and power this on and see what this thing can do. There we go. Also, the system files I've dumped in the description below, so feel free to have a look at them. It also displayed something and I didn't see that, but otherwise you can barely kind of see what's going on. There you go. You can kind of see, I may have to turn some lights off and fix my camera setup just so you can get a better look at the display. Actually, it might be easy to take the screen protector off thinking about it. We've booted up. I could just use it this way, actually. Might be easier. I actually had to cut through the screen protector for the camera test because the photos turned out very, very blurry, so that's what was causing that. Now there'll be fingerprints everywhere. But looking at the display real quickly, nice and close, this is actually a really good display that they've put on here. Surprising enough, I would actually believe the resolution of this to be 2048 by 1546 or whatever they said. Also, while Googling information about this, I found that you can still buy this, and it does advertise the 9.7-inch IPS Retina display because this is truly what we would have if the iPad didn't exist. So this tablet is more on the higher end of AINOL's products. I'm not even sure what their last product was, to be fairly honest. Someone should probably let me know. If we touch and hold, let's see the wallpapers real quickly, if they're going to be pinched off anything. So we've got blue, green blobs. These could be stock Android ones, actually, come to think of it. I'm not too sure. Actually, they do look familiar. Oh, that's Samsung. No, that's Samsung. All these are in the system file, so feel free to go through them. But honestly, though, the display's good. I will say that. The display's good. Not that you can really get a good look at that, but if you sort of can, there's a lot of vibrant colors, and it does look fairly nice. So maybe this won't be a tacky tablet after all. Maybe this might be actually something fairly usable. But otherwise, on the main screen, we do have a music widget, some shortcuts there, a 4K video player right there as well. I do have a 4K video on my microSD card, so we'll see if that actually works. Touching over here and bringing up the quick menu, we've got AirPlay mode, Wi-Fi, auto rotate, brightness is on full, notifications and settings. It's also 1970 according to this. If I go into applications, we do have the 4K video player, Angry Birds, browser, calculator, calendar, camera, clock, cut the rope 2. Never heard of that. Dev tools, downloads, email, ES task manager, Facebook file manager, flash player setting, gallery, Gmail, Google, Minion Rush, music, people, play music, Play Store settings, sound recorder, Temple Run 2, Twitter, VGBA, voice search, and YouTube. So I'm going to do emulation with this because I mean it's on here, so we'll see how that goes. But I haven't factory reset this since getting it. I wanted to leave all of these applications on here just kind of as a time capsule sort of thing because I wouldn't have the slightest clue on when this thing was actually used last. Settings, I'll switch Wi-Fi on. Did we get 5 gigahertz? No, we only get 2.4. Standard G-board there. One thing that's also worth noting is that there's a vibration motor built into this, which I honestly wasn't expecting. In more networks, we have AirPlay mode, Ethernet, VPN, tethering and portable hotspot, and mobile networks. This does support an external 3G dongle. I did see that during these specifications, but if I go to mobile networks, it's obviously not going to do terribly much. Sound is fairly basic there. Display has all the usual options. Accelerometer, coordinate system, and screen adaptation. I guess we'll just leave them. Storage-wise, we have 16 gigabytes of internal storage on this, which I've already said at the start with the specifications, but 16 gig on this is not too bad. Battery, we're at 93%, and it did take forever to charge this up. I think I left it for about 24 hours solid before I went back to it and realized that it was at 100%. So it probably does have a 10,000 mAh battery in this, and after this review, it will probably swell it most likely. And if I come to the application list, I'll just quickly scroll through here, but I don't think there's going to be terribly much in here. Oh, Dragonfire. Dragon Phone, okay. That sounds interesting. Sorry, you can see the tripod and stuff, but trying to have a look at such a big device on my desk, it just really doesn't work, and I can't really find a good setup, so this is pretty much as good as I'm going to get for this video. Continuing on though, we can check QuickShortcutMaker to see if we can find anything that might be a little strange, but I don't know. This might be kind of fine. Jellybean there, talkback. Oh, okay, that's a bit dodgy, but we'll see if that does anything. Location services, security, there's no fingerprint, no face unlock or anything. Very, very basic. Actually, I take that back, there is face unlock. Look at your tablet to unlock it. Yeah, let's set it up. Let's look at my anal to unlock it. Put your face here. No worries. It's having a hard time doing this. Maybe because there's no lighting? There you go. Can't find part of your face. You can do it. There you go. Perfect. Let's see if this does work. That actually worked. Very slow though, but at least it worked. You could do the liveness check if you wanted to. Language input, backup reset, add account, date and time, accessibility, probably doesn't have too much in it. Oh, talkback's here, but that's pretty much it. Developer options is on by default, and I've already dumped the system file, so that's all good. I'll put the window animations down so we get a better experience of this thing. I suppose this will help. Probably not, but that's okay. There we go. And about tablet. So it's called the Novo 9 Spark 4.1.1, which the Easter egg should be throwing the jelly beans around. Yep, there we go. And that works. So I wonder how gaming will be on this. The baseband version, kernel version, and the build number there. I'll go into status. Oh, there's no serial number. Maybe it's here. I'll just see system updates. It's not going to have anything. Be hilarious if it actually came up with a system update. Alright, so that's pretty much all of settings. So let's make a scenario here. Let's just say you were out at your local flea market. You found this for $30 and decided to purchase this as a tablet to use for, I don't know, YouTube and stuff like that. So let's see how it performs. And the first thing that I'm going to do is use the 4K video player. Let's see if I can actually play 4K. Application mode configuration, cool mode, optimization mode, and energy saving mode. I'm going to go cool mode. This is crazy watching this go. Kind of feels like I'm watching something out of Silent Hill here. Anyways, I do have some 4K videos that I've put on my micro SD card. Let's just try one and see how it works. Why is it? Okay. Big. Very big. No. Okay. So that doesn't work. So I've prepared and put another one on here. They don't work. Both were from different sites, and these are showroom demos. They're MP4. They should work. Unless they just don't want to work. At least I have sound. Partial sound. That's a positive. I think it just died. Oh. I was really hoping this would work so I could show the display off a little better, but... Okay, well... That's not really going to work, so it can't play 4K video. It should have been able to play it though, as I have tested those files on other devices and they work perfectly fine, so no idea. Moving on though, Angry Birds I'm going to keep till the gaming test. I'll leave gaming till near the end. Browser, let's see how the browser would be on this. So the first page is that. That appears to be the default web page for this tablet, which is a bit weird. Let me just type in AINOL SPARK. Oh god, okay, that's a bit terrible. This is where I actually found it here. Is the certificate's gonna work? No. Okay, is it 1970 still? No, it's 2022. I'll try AliExpress just to see if anything happens. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if it's still loading or if it's just stopped there. Okay, browsing-wise on a very outdated Android device is obviously not too surprising there. Let me just refresh. Oh. Nope, device beast. Here we go, let's try this one. Yeah, it's fairly slow, and it kind of doesn't want to load too much. Nope, there we go. That's our device right there. Came in multiple colorways too. They were really marketing this thing, but that's all the specifications. 4.5 out of 5 stars, hey? That means that this thing's really good. I mean, it probably would have been good back in 2013 as a budget device, but obviously now in 2022 it's really outdated and you can't do terribly much with it. Anyways, moving on, we've got the calculator, which looks like the default Android 4 calculator. Calendar looks like a calendar. Yep, no surprises there. Camera though. So number 1, we have autofocus. Number 2, I've already done the camera test. Number 3, the results are very surprising. I won't spoil too much of it now. The interface, as you can see, is like some sort of fake leather sort of... It looks like some of the cases that would go on iPads and it would cover up the bezels of the screen and the home button would be exposed. That's what it kind of looks like. You might have to tell me if I'm incorrect or thinking of something else there. Otherwise, yep. Autofocus and manual focus, which is very surprising. You do have some filters here, which I did use on the front camera. There's a panorama mode, which I've done a panorama shot with this. Burst mode, if you wanted to. And settings has the picture size as 2592 by 1936, which accordingly should be 5 megapixels. If we swap to video, we do have autofocus on video as well. 720p video, it reckons. And while you can't manual focus, autofocus seems to work. And then switching to the front camera, and the picture size does say 8 megapixels, but then it has 1600 by 1200 next to it, which is 2 megapixels. Let me splice in the photos and videos that I took with this, and you be the judge if this device does take good enough photos and videos. We'll be back in a moment. Alright, here we go. Video with the rear camera on the AINOL SPARK. I don't think we have any autofocus or anything. It's just kind of struggling. Maybe because it's too bright, it just can't really help anything. It's about 3 frames a second, possibly. The flowers have disappeared, so I'm gonna have to find new subjects to take photos of now. There's Ripley. Hi. Hi. Don't give me that look. It's a very nice day today, so perfect to take the camera test and watch them dance. Oh boy. Oh wait, it does have focus. Wow. I just can't touch to actually focus, so it does have autofocus. Interesting. I can't really see what's on the screen because it's too bright out here, so I'm just kind of guessing. You can hopefully see everything that's going on here. Watch them dance. Yay. Maggie the Magpie, that was in the thumbnail, which I think I can see. Yep, I can see. Beautiful. The lemon tree, as usual, there it is there. And the faraway aircon with a... Oh, there's my phone going off. 3 times digital zoom, right there, you can barely see it. There it is. There's the breeze there. Not that you can see, breeze there. Anyways, let's move on to the front camera quality of the AINOL SPARK. Do you approve of this, Ripley? I don't think you would, because, yeah, no. You just can't even. Come on, you can autofocus. You can do it. No, it just doesn't want to. Never mind. Enjoy the quality. At least she flopped though. Not that you can see. There we go. You can kind of see now. Oh, quality. Absolute quality. Okay, and this is front video quality for the, oh god, here we go, the AINOL SPARK tablet. This is what it looks like, and we do have jelly movement. Quite a lot of it. I have actually reviewed photos already, and they actually don't look too bad from this. They look terrible on the display, but on my PC they're actually not bad. So, pretty good, AINOL. Yeah, okay. Just agree with that. Just nod. Yep. No autofocus as well. It's just fixed. But there you go. Well, look at it render. It's rendering. So you've just seen the photos and videos that I took with this tablet. It takes some good shots, doesn't it? Some of the shots are actually kind of good. For a 5 megapixel camera, that's not bad at all. Only problem is, that you probably did see, is that if you do move this ever so slightly, everything just sort of distorts and goes weird. So you have to hold this very still, and the shutter speed on this is super slow as well. Let me just see how slow it is. See how long it took there? You take the picture, but you still got to hold it, and now you can move it. That was me trying to take a shot of the Froggos, and this was me trying to take a photo of Ripley that was staring out the window. But somehow this happened. So while the rear camera definitely has some shortcomings, it's not too bad. I expected a lot worse. I was very surprised when I came back and put it on my PC and looked at the photos and went, really? That's not actually too bad. And same goes with the front camera as well. The photos with that weren't too bad at all, being 2 megapixels. Video, on the other hand, is a completely different story. That is pretty terrible. 7 whole frames a second for the rear camera. Let's give it some credit. It tried. It takes some good photos, well, reasonable enough. Videos, yeah, okay, that's not really its strongest point. I would have loved to have known the retail price of one of these, and if we actually sold them here in Australia, which is kind of a bit scary to think of. But anyways, moving on. Clock looks like clock. Android 4 looking as well, which kind of looks nice. Very nostalgic. Cut the Rope 2 we'll come back to. DevTools? What is DevTools? Oh, DevTools is basically everything that I need to test. Don't need QuickShortcutMaker, just come to here. Water. Oh, this is the live wallpaper, isn't it? Oh, there it is. Just quickly checking the live wallpapers. They're all the default ones on Android 4, so no custom ones. Bad behavior. Okay. You can actually cause bad behavior on this. Report a WTF condition. Yep, I've reported it. Downloads, email, ES Task Manager, which I have not used this in so long. What's new? Fixes issues on Android 4. Do you want to find and install it? Nope. This is looking kind of like malware, but I know it's not malware. But it's got the File Explorer, About Phone, which will probably tell us that we have, it says 1.5 gigs of RAM there, 16 gigs of storage. System, Novo 9 Spark, dual core. Well, sorry, but what? It's supposed to be a quad core. Well, I guess that's why I double check the specs, just to make sure. There's the display resolution once again, and 320 DPI as well, which isn't too bad, I guess. Facebook, we don't have to touch. File Manager is probably the default Android one. Actually, this was on the fake iPad that I looked at. I'll card that up here as well if you want to take a look at that, because this is basically a sequel to that video. You know, can we have an iPad at home? We've already got an iPad at home. iPad at home. Flash Player settings, which obviously we can't do much with because, well, Flash Player doesn't exist now. Also, it's starting to heat up down the bottom here where the ports are, which is where the motherboard would be. But it's kind of a warm day in Australia, so that's kind of to be expected. Gmail, Google, we've already checked. Minion Rush we'll come back to. Music, BFG Division. So let's bump it all the way up. Okay, it's all the way up. No sound enhancements or anything like that, is just fairly basic. We do have dual stereo speakers. I'm so sorry for all the fingerprints on this. I'm having to clean it every few seconds. This is why I was going to leave the screen protector on, but I don't know what you'd rather, scratches or fingerprints. Well, let's try this then. Not that good. I only got to about 101, I think. They're not actually stereo speakers, they're just two speakers that they've put in here. So not a true stereo experience, just two speakers that work at the same time. Moving on, we've got people, play music, play store, settings we've already been through, sound recorder, what does that look like? Always curious, that's what that looks like. Temple Run, we'll come back to. Twitter, VGBA, we'll come back to. Voice search, and YouTube. Will YouTube actually open? No. I don't even think that YouTube works on Android 4 anymore. I'm pretty sure you can't even use it anymore. But there is a way to test it through the browser. I think I broke it. Oh, it's fine. I didn't break it. Okay, I probably broke it. Here it is. Here we go, let's test this out and see how it goes. I mean, it's through the browser, so I don't expect too much. But yeah, someone's gonna have to let me know if YouTube can actually work on Android 4 or not. Well, we got an ad. For KFC too. So let's go to settings and we can put the quality to 720p. And at this point in time it's getting fairly laggy, and why is it upside down? Oh, no, wait. So if I do it this way, there we go, perfect. This is 720p. If the app worked, I'd probably be able to get 1080p going, but this is 720p. And I'll just let you have a quick look at that. The display is actually very sharp, I will admit that. That's one good thing about this. Is that the display that they've put on this, they haven't cheaped out on. They've put a nice display, a genuinely nice display on the AINOL SPARK. That's the YouTube test in the browser. Give or take, it's probably not the best, but at least it worked. Pretty much what we're left with is the games. What I want to do is install my own stuff real quickly, and then we'll continue on and see how this goes. Everything has been installed, so let's see how gaming would be on this tablet. Granted, some of these games are just 2D ones, but I have no idea what Cut the Rope 2 is, what Minion Rush is going to be, and Temple Run 2, I think I've seen that before, but let's try Angry Birds. I haven't genuinely played Angry Birds since 2014, I think? I had it on my iPhone 4, so whenever the iPhone 4 was like really good, I had it on that. Oh, memories. Oh, someone's been playing this. Oh, yep, someone has definitely been playing this. Alright, well, let's try number 6. What the hell is going on here? Okay, I didn't know they did that. It looks fairly blurry. I'll just sort of show you. It's kind of a little bit blurry. It's a 2D game. It basically ran on everything. And there you go. That's Angry Birds on this. Let me just yeet. Damn it. Well, yeah, that's Angry Birds. How's the Angry Birds franchise doing now? I've got no idea, honestly. Cut the Rope 2. Let's try this and see what this is like. Oh, okay. I've got to have it this way then. It's a beaker. Is that a beaker? Is that what they call it? Yeah, I don't know. I failed science. Zeptolab. Alright. Let's play this, and it's loading, and oh god, what do I do here? Just tap? Yeah, okay, let's just do this. Okay, what am I doing? I've got no idea. Do I just... Oh, okay, that's scary. Slice. Slice. Oh, okay, it's just a kid's game, I suppose, that I just got 1 star on. That's fairly basic. Okay, well, let's move on then. That wasn't that interesting at all. I think the most interesting ones is going to be GTA 3 and the Game Boy emulator. And hopefully there's games on here. If not, I'll have to get some ROMs, which, I own a lot of Game Boy games, so don't come after me. Grand Theft Auto 3, here we go. It should pop up. Been a second. Where's the video? Oh, there it is. Oh god, okay, we're good. Let's bump everything to maximum, okay? I reckon it's going to be completely fine on this. I don't think there'll be any problems with retro gaming on this tablet if you found this tablet and purchased it and wanted to use it for retro gaming. It's a little laggy. Banshee. Seems okay. It looks okay. It looks good. Get in the car, Claude. Let's go. Now this has 5-point multi-touch, so I should be okay. Bit of input lag. Just a tiny little bit. I should go straight. I never go straight. Oh, yep. Causing mayhem. Perfect. Yeah, it's struggling. But I did put it all on maximum. But then again, a PS2 played GTA 3 perfectly fine, so, you know. Maybe because the resolution I've bumped it up to 2048 by 1536, so its native resolution is looking like this, and while it looks nice, it just doesn't kind of run nice. But yeah, bump the settings down and you'll be fine. If you ever found the AINOL SPARK available for purchase and wanted to play GTA 3 on this, you could absolutely do that. Oh god, minion rush. Oh god, I hate minions. Oh, let's see what it's like then. Problem occurred and the download could not be completed, so I don't think this is gonna work. Which, honestly, I'm kind of thankful for that. Temple Run, let's see what this is like. Oh, we've got to put it this way. Okay. Isn't Temple Run that running game where you run? Oh, it's 3D. Hello. All right, let's go, man. Yeah, run. Run, buddy. Oh, okay. What am I doing? What do I do? Oh, whoops. I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, you just jump. Yep, that's it. Okay. Well, it's 3D and... Oh, whoops. I'm having fun just letting the guy just fall off the cliff. It's alright, buddy. You're fine. So we just jump. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Oh, there's stuff there. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is fun. Whee! It doesn't run too bad either. Stingy. It called me stingy. You bastard. Yeah, I'm starting to notice that it's kind of lagging anytime I try and do something now. If you don't push this thing too far, it runs okay. But if you start doing anything slightly intensive, it just starts to lag on you. So, in saying that, how's Game Boy gonna run? Well, Game Boy Advance. Oh, okay. It just crashed. Let me put some ROMs on here. There we go. Got it. So this is Driver 3 for Game Boy Advance. I like this game, because it kind of demonstrates how good Game Boy Advance was, but in saying that though, it just crashes. I've got Fire Red on here, which works for 3 seconds. There we go. I mean, it works. Can you make it bigger? No. Do you think it's crashing because this version is possibly maybe cracked and it's kind of not working due to that? That could be a possibility. RetroArch would be a good alternative. I could have put RetroArch on here actually and tested gaming, but honestly, I get a fairly good idea of what's going on. But now I'll just double check the specifications just to make sure that what was advertised is actually running in here. So device info hardware. The RAM is not 2 gig, it's 1.5 gig. The system on chip is the all-winner quad core, but I don't exactly know which one. I think it was A13, wasn't it? Nova 9 Spark, there's the system stuff there. The screen, which I'll do the multi-touch test, which it said 5, so I don't doubt that. Yeah, 5-point multi-touch. Memory, yeah, 1.5 gigs. I thought it was 2 gigabytes, but maybe it was a different version that I looked up. Close enough though. Camera, 5 megapixel and 2 megapixel, that's confirmed there. Battery says 3,775 milliamp hours. 10,000 milliamp hours, hey? I mean, that was for the one I looked up. Could be incorrect. Thermal sensors not found. Sensors, we have an accelerometer and that's about it. So moving on to the other one, it's starting to lag. It's trying its best. The Nova 9 Spark, Android 4.1.1, X-Droid is the system on chip code. That's interesting. But yeah, it's a quad core. Total internal memory is not correct. It's showing the 1 gigabyte partition. Total RAM, yeah, 1.5 gigabytes. That's fair. 9.4 inches. This is usually incorrect. It should be 9.7. Battery, let's see what it says here. Oh, it doesn't say anything. Okay. Battery is 30 degrees. Accelerometer, cameras. We do have an IMEI there. Feel free to look that up and tell me where that's from. Lastly, I've got QuickShortcutMaker just to see if there's anything worth opening up. And then honestly, we can tear this down because there's not really much to test on tablets that run Android 4 and lower. There's not terribly much that I can do with them unless there's something else that I can throw into these videos to make them a little bit more exciting. Maybe proper emulation would be a good idea, so maybe I'll do that in the next one. I'll just quickly go through here to see if there's anything that I can open up. Oh, Dragonfire! Let's try Dragonfire. What's Dragonfire? I've never heard of Dragonfire before. It reminds me of Dragon Force. What is it? Oh, well, it stopped anyways. Okay, I'll try Dragonfire again. Oh, hello, this is a testing program. That's what Dragonfire is. Then what's Dragonphone then? I don't know what happened. It's kind of just crashed. Oh, there we go. Dragonphone doesn't seem to do anything. Well, I guess that's going to remain a complete mystery then. Let's see if there's anything else. Open WNN. What's this? Oh, it's the keyboard stuff. Okay. Oh, that's the pinion thing. I should remember that icon. Otherwise, there's nothing else really to look at. If this was running a slightly higher version of Android, let's just say Android Lollipop or Marshmallow, with these specs, you could probably do a little bit more, but as they are, it's a fairly average tablet when it comes to the system on chip. 16 gigs of storage is pretty good. 1.5 gig of RAM is so-so, but where this really shines, number one is the build quality. That's not too bad. The display is fantastic. Pictures with the rear and front camera aren't too bad. But then everything else is kind of just very average on this. Plenty of ports, which I guess is kind of good as well. Didn't play 4K video, like it says, which kind of sucks. But as I said, with devices running Android 4 and lower, there's not a lot I can do. So if anyone could suggest anything else that I could possibly do with these to make these videos a little bit more exciting and enjoyable, then feel free to let me know, because otherwise I can only just test what's on here, and I can only just put a certain amount of applications to test anything else, and then pretty much that's it. We're just left with a teardown, and that's the end of the video. So it still has a funny name and a funny model name too. Enjoy life. Enjoy Anal. That had to be taking the piss. Absolutely had to be taking the piss with that company logo and slogan as well. But otherwise, folks, that's it for the AINOL SPARK. It's a fairly generic tablet, and I don't know if there's any custom ROMs that you can do on this or anything like that. Might have to check, but this iPad clone is fairly useless in 2022. So if you did find this at your market for 30 bucks, keep walking, just leave it. You're more than likely to find a shitty Lenovo tablet that's running at least Oreo, which would be a lot more useful than this. Let's give Anal A for effort, alright? Good on you, buddy. Now let's tear it down and see what's inside of it. See? Vibration motor. It's kind of nifty. Also, the microSD card just kind of sticks out a little bit, but that's okay. In order to get inside of this, I'm going to have to break through the seals. The original Anal seals. Guess we got to do what we got to do. Actually, I don't think there's any screws holding it together. I think we just pop the back off. Yep, this is exactly how it comes apart. Ta-da, we're in. There's the back there, and the buttons that are just casually floating around. I'll just put them back there. But yeah, metal back. And finally, looking inside of this thing, my god, there's just... it's ugly. The first thing that I see is the battery, and it actually is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that they've put in here. That's absolutely crazy that this is in here, and it's 2 cells, 5,000 milliamp hours each. Absolutely crazy. I'm just taking all of this in real quickly. We've got the vibration motor there, coin style vibration motor, the 5 megapixel camera there, which we'll take out soon. Got a little subboard for the keys there, some antennas, some wiring that goes around, flex cable for the display, Realtek module just soldered right there. That would be the Wi-Fi. This would be the cooling for the Allwinner chip, I'd say. Oh yep, there's the Allwinner there, the A31 quad core, and the 1.5 gig of RAM there, as well as the 16 gigs of storage. And yeah, it's just a bit of copper that they've put on there to cool that down, which doesn't really help it. But it tried, so I'll give it that. There's also more official Anal branding there. 16 gig past 6. The dual speakers, which are pretty much just tin cans, honestly. I'll just quickly show you the chips on there. So we've got that one there, that one there, that one there. I can't even see what that says. The Realtek one, which is that thing there. All the Hynix modules. You want to just take a look at them. Let's do a little bit of tracking. Front camera's here, right? Goes all the way. All the way here. So if I just pop this out, this may be the longest flex ribbon for a camera I have ever seen in my entire life. This is hilarious. Oh, yep. Okay, so that's your 2 megapixel front camera. So there it is there. Just a little one there, nothing fancy. There was code somewhere on this massive ribbon. There you go, it says Novo on it. But yeah, it's just this massive cable like this. So you could just make a hole in the casing, right, and have this flex cable hanging out, and then you have the front camera that can be moved around if you wanted to. It's a good idea, isn't it? The innards of this remind me of that iPad I looked at last time. It's looking fairly similar. The rear camera is just here, and that does say Novo on it as well, with 5M AF, which I would say 5 megapixel autofocus, just as a guess there. I don't think I need to flip the motherboard around because it'd likely be bare on the other side. This is just kind of a bit of a mess inside of this, but hey, it works. That's the main thing. I probably got the specs messed up at the start, so that's my bad, but everything else is absolutely correct on this. Good on you, Anal. You weren't lying. Now just put this comically long camera back in place there, like so. There we go. And then that just sort of slots somewhere like that. Perfect. And it just... perfect. Back together. Just make sure it still works. Yep, certainly does. Just make sure touch still works. Yes, it does. Beautiful. That's everything that I wanted to show with this tablet. Fairly uninteresting for the most part. The display and the cameras were the best on this, I will admit that. And the build quality, I'll give that credit too. But I just never thought I'd see another Anal device, and here it is here. It just was fairly average at best. But if I find another one, hopefully it runs something a bit more modern than just Android 4. But if you do have any suggestions for devices that run Android 4, then feel free to let me know and I'll take note of them for the next device that I test. I do have a lot of Tacky tablets, but they all run lower versions of Android. And I've got one specifically that I want to take a look at, but I can't really test it because it's very limited. But maybe in a few months I'll come back and have a look at it, if I can find something to throw on it to test it. GTA 3 might work. I'm not sure. I'll have to investigate. Anyways, folks, that's going to do it for looking around the AINOL Novo 9 Spark tablet thing that I found at my local flea market and paid 30 bucks for it. I hope you enjoyed this video for what it was. And this was the third installment in the Tacky Tablet series, so I'll give it a score. I reckon 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't too tacky, it was just fairly average. The display was good, the cameras were okay, video was terrible though, and it would have been okay for something in 2013, but otherwise that's about it. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching along, I really do appreciate it, but if you had to use the timestamps, that's all good, that's why they're there. This wasn't really a fairly interesting video anyways, just it's a funny brand name and I found it and thought, hey, it'd be funny to have a look at, and here we are. System files are in the description as well. Feel free to go through them and see if you find anything good, and I think I'll leave it here. So thank you very much for watching once again, I really do appreciate it, and as always, take care, stay safe, be good people, and I'll see you all in the next video, which will be more cheapo stuff, I would assume anyways. But until then, take care, and I'll see you next time. If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.